We have taken a look at historical events that have influenced our environmental value systems of today. So what we're going to look at now is what those environmental value systems are and how we can describe each of the three. All right, so an environmental value system is a way that we view the world. So it's how our experiences, our culture, our religion influence the way that we perceive the environment. So every one of us has had different experiences, so we're going to have a different view or a different window through which we view the environment and some of the issues that we're going to take a look at. All right, in the past, if we're just talking about humans in general, we looked at the world as a place where resources were unlimited. We used phrases like fight for survival, battle against nature. So basically, we were in survival mode, just trying to survive on planet Earth. In more recent history, and up until present day, we have had more of an impact on controlling our environment. As early as the Industrial Revolution, which began in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and as we have seen technology improve since then, we have, instead of trying to survive, we've been explorers, conquerors. We've leaned more towards subduing the planet. In the future, what we've realized is that resources are going to be limited because we have conquered the earth and made it our own. We have been living in a way that is unsustainable. We are not ensuring our future generations have those same resources. In the future, we may have even more control. We're looking into terraforming. Terraforming is shaping a planet like Mars in a way that humans could survive. All right, so the name of this course is Environmental Systems and Societies, and much of what we talk about is what systems are, how they interact, what those systems on Earth are. So when we talk about environmental value systems, what makes a value a system? So in order to understand that, first we need to know what a system is. So a system is a set of parts that work together to make one whole being function. For example, we can think of the human body as a system. There are various systems that work together, like nervous system, endocrine system, digestive system, respiratory system, and we need each of those parts to support our living, breathing bodies. If we take one away, then our system is no longer going to work. There are various parts to the system, and we're going to use models or diagrams to demonstrate the various systems that we talk about throughout the year. So the first thing that you have are the storage, or what the general system is that you're talking about. Then you have flows. You've got inputs and outputs into the system, and we are going to represent those with arrows. So inputs are things that are going into the system. Outputs are the things that are leaving or coming out of the system. So if we look at an environmental value system, what are the inputs? Inputs are the things that influence how we view the world. So our educational background, our experiences, the culture that we were raised in, the media that we are exposed to, and the output of this system would be the values that you have, your perspective on the environment, how you make decisions, what courses of action you decide on based on that window that you are looking through. All right, so now we're going to look at what the three value systems are. We have an ecocentric value system, which is more of a nature-centered idea. It's the idea that we want to have as little disturbance to nature as possible. Anthropocentric, the prefix anthro means human or man, so that is our people-centered value system, that we are here to manage the earth. The earth is not here for, it's not the idea that the earth was here first and we're just visitors, but that we can manage the earth. We can live here in a way that we can use the earth's resources. Then our last viewpoint is technocentric, which is a technology-centered idea. And that's that no matter what issues or problems we create, we will be able to solve them through technology or human ingenuity. All right, so looking at ecocentrism first, that's the nature-centered. It's the idea that any decision we make, we need to make sure that we are conserving the environment in the process. It's the idea that humans are part of nature. So we want to live less materialistically. We want our society to be more self-sufficient. What that means is we have less inputs, less outputs. So we're using fewer resources, creating less waste. Ecocentrism also prioritizes biorights. So that is making sure that we're not causing extinction of other species and that we are protecting habitats and ecosystems. All right, so anthropocentrism, that's our people-centered or humanity-centered. So nature is there to benefit mankind, and that when we make decisions, we are taking into account human health and well-being first, instead of the environment like we did in our ecocentric. All right, so we believe, as if you are an anthropocentric, that humans can sustainably manage the global system, and we can do that through governmental regulation by imposing taxes, legislation, and then regulating those laws as well. Technocentrism, that is that nature is a model that we can replace by technology when needed. So once again, just like anthropocentrism, we are making sure that human health and well-being are what we consider first in making decisions. So this is the idea that we will be able to solve the problems that we've created through technology. That it's important that we research the ecosystems, the systems of the earth, so we know how to form policies and how to manipulate those systems. And this is also the idea that economic growth is a good thing, that is more important than ensuring other species' survival. Now, not everyone falls under one of these three columns. Most of us are going to fall somewhere in between. So we can break this down even further. So if you are on the far left side of the spectrum, you might be an ecocentric deep ecologist. What this means is you put more value on nature than humanity, that we have no right to interfere with the earth. It was here before us, it will be here long after us. And we want the policies that we pass to make sure that we're reducing human impact on the environment. And the best way to do that is to decrease human population and making sure that we are consuming less. All right, now a soft ecologist or self-reliant falls somewhere in between. You can be an ecocentric soft ecologist or an anthropocentric soft ecologist. So soft ecologists put an emphasis on local actions, so small-scale changes, and the idea that the actions of an individual make a difference. We want to de-emphasize materialism, make sure that we are consuming less resources. All right, the next category are environmental managers. You can be an anthropocentric environmental manager or even a technocentric environmental manager. But this is the idea of stewardship, that it is our duty to protect and nurture Earth. So if you are more towards the anthropocentric, we still want governments to pass legislation, but we still want to make sure that we are preserving the environment while at the same time making sure economic growth can continue. The other point that environmental managers make is that those who suffer environmental justice, like say if a landfill is built near a neighborhood and the groundwater is contaminated, there needs to be some sort of compensation for those that suffer such types of environmental injustice. Okay, then our last category are the cornucopians. So these are the far right of the technocentric. This is the idea that the earth has infinite resources to benefit us and that we can solve any problem that we create. A free market economy is the best way to manage the planet. So we want capitalism with as little government control as possible. So chances are you fall into one of these four columns, and that can help you decide which of the major three value systems you fall under. And we will look further in class and do some surveys to see if we can figure out where you are right now. Then we'll come back to this at the end of the year and see if you fall in the same area of the environmental value systems.